What is up, good people? Give me a second. Let's make sure this audio's working, it's cracking, and everything sounds amazing. Oh, it does. Look at that. Got it right the first time. What do you guys think of our new little graphic for the show? I think I like it.
Dope.
I like
It's
it.
dope.
I like it. As always,
I love it.
Let's welcome Miss Ashley Barber to the
I've missed
show.
y'all.
How
How
you
y'all
doing, Ashley?
doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Yeah?
It's cold outside.
It is cold
I'm
outside.
tired of that.
This is unseasonably cold. I just got back from a week out of town. You know, I'd be moving and shaking. And came back to, this coldness. Saw some frost on my car this morning that I did not like.
Yeah, it's crazy because it was beautiful out here during Super Bowl. It's funny because yesterday one of my clients was like, it's almost like someone's telling the weather exactly what to do. Like everybody was out here last week for Super Bowl, so we were in like 73, 74, 75 weather, nice and breezy, sunny, everything. And now this week it's freezing. We're having weather like we on the East Coast.
Unbelievable. Listen, I hate the cold. I hate it.
Me too. That's why we live here.
But then in a couple of weeks, we'll be like, man, I hate this heat. This is so stupid. Like literally in a couple of weeks, we're going to be like, this is the dumbest thing in the history of dumb things. Like,
Don't
why?
say a couple weeks. At least give
Why?
us a month. Because
All
what
right.
are we? We're about to go into March. So
We're
we
about to
still
go to
got March.
Going into spring
April.
training.
Yeah, spring.
Usually spring training, it's like hot out there at these stadiums, because
Really?
there's really no like how they
there's
have
no
them all
covering
set up. There's
whatsoever.
no,
Yeah.
there's like barely like you
Y'all-
cool for 30 seconds.
Y'all are
Yeah.
barbecue.
You
are the barbecue
Yeah.
with the beers in your hands.
Literally.
You guys are the barbecue.
Literally. So we used to hang out on the lawns, on the back, and it'd be super cool, But then it's like get a little older, and then you're like, nah, son, I can't sit out here. It's way too hot. And then because we used to how do I say? Oh, I guess I don't work anymore. We used to call into work, use our sick time. You know what I mean? Be like, I'm sick. Or how many hours do we have left? I got 3.26 hours. All right, let me leave at 12:36. Can I clock out then and make sure I get all my hours? That's how we used to do it back in the day, so we can go watch the spring training games with your friends. It was fun.
How many of y'all love going to spring training? Listen, I have never done it because, I have a lot of friends born and raised from Arizona, so I have a lot of friends who love to go to spring training. But as soon as they told me that there was no covering, at least with the Diamondbacks baseball games, you get covering. But, I don't like peanuts and I don't like beer. So it's really not my thing. Now they've upgraded the stadium, so that's hot.
Yeah.
But at spring training, I don't know what they got that's going to entice me to sit out there and get barbecued. But I hear you.
It's just having a good time with your friends, when you're supposed to be at work, playing a little hooky, Oh man, I'm feeling sick. You got 6 dudes sick at the same time. Maybe it's something we ate at lunch. You know what I mean? And we all got sick and we all got to get up out of there.
Please.
But
if your bosses were woke, they knew exactly what was going on because
Yeah, they
everybody
knew.
else was doing that. And I'm sure your bosses
Yeah.
were trying to do the same thing.
But it'd be crazy when you saw them at the game, though. You'd be like, oh, like, what happened? Listen, I feel good. I feel better. Maybe it's like a 3-hour flu or something, that in and out. Ashley, welcome. You guys, welcome back to the show. Glad to have you here. Today we're covering some super, heavy stuff, stuff that we deal with,
Yeah.
that you don't know, that you have. Now, a lot of people associate PTSD with, people that are in the military, right? That's the
Yes.
first thing that comes to mind, when we talk about these topics. But, you can have this disorder in, all the stuff that you do, right?
Absolutely. So when it comes to PTSD, what that essentially is post-traumatic stress disorder. And this happens after you have experienced a traumatic event. And so your body, your nervous system goes into fight, flight, or freeze, which we've talked about often. But the problem is that it stays there. So you develop symptoms. So you have behaviors of agitation. You may have nightmares, you have unwanted, intrusive thoughts, you may be anxious, you may be depressed, but basically you stay in fight, flight, or freeze. You aren't able to rest and restore the way that you should because your body wasn't able to process that incident because one, it probably never happened before and you were just so shook, so this could be a car accident, This could be some type of physical, emotional, or sexual abuse. This could be, you were cheated on. This could be someone passed away. This could even be a loss of a job if you really were just blindsided, because trauma, the disturbance of trauma on you emotionally and physically is based on how you perceive it. So there's two types of trauma. There's small t and big T. And so even small t's can be traumatic and produce PTSD symptoms.
Now, before we get into, what we're going to get into today, we got to run through this
Yes.
little disclaimer, because we're not, well, I'm not a therapist. Ashley won't let me start my therapy company, but I'm not a therapist. But she's a therapist, but she's not your therapist. So before we get on here and get busy, check this out. The podcast is for educational entertainment purposes only. The content discussed is not a replacement for therapy or a formal therapy session or group. This is not therapy and or therapy group, and all content is generally based and not specific to any issue, problem, or person due to lack of a personalized information and absence of a signed agreement from all parties stating that this is a therapy session or group. Let's get it. All right, folks, and we are back now, Ashley. We're about to get into, her being a therapist and me being a therapist. I'm not a therapist, obviously.
Everybody wants to be a therapist these
Everybody
days.
does.
Please don't do that.
Don't do
If
that.
you're giving advice, give advice from your personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be out here trying to be a therapist, because you could really mess up people. You could give them PTSD.
Don't be out there giving people PTSD with your unlicensed therapy. You got to have a license for this stuff. I don't have a license for the therapy. I just give, my advice from my life experience, okay? What I went through.
Right.
So you don't do the same on some of those things, right? So, actually, let's hop into this PTSD
Yes.
topic.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's talk about PTSD at work,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I used to work in a call center with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And it was heavy. Like, sometimes they want you to hit these numbers and they're stressed. They're gonna fire you every 3. Let me tell you guys a story real quick.
Oh, man.
Before we go into this, okay? Let me tell you guys a story.
We go.
Here we go.
Here
All
we
right,
go.
Let me tell you a story. So, they used to hold these events twice a year, right? The first time this event happened, I had barely been on the job for like 3 weeks. And I'm one of those people. I went into the interview. It's like, yo, you can hire me or not. I'm going to be good, but you should probably hire me. That's kind of how I went into this thing. And they hired me. That's what happened.
Oh, my
All right?
gosh.
That's what happened. So on the third week, I'm a people person. So, I was kind of in the in crowd. I realized quickly that there was this group that was in and this group that wasn't in. But if you're in the group, you're good. So they have this big celebration. We had 2 offices, one where the call center was, and we had a ministry office down the street.
Oh, boy.
So we would go to the ministry office out in the parking lot, have like barbecue, and the founder of the ministry of the whole company will come in and give a rah-rah speech to everybody. They bring everybody down the block. I think we walked down. I think we even walked. So walked down the block. It was on like McClintock and McClintock and University, something like that, and Broadway and McClintock. So we would go down there, walk down to the other office, take our time because, again, we're on the clock and you get paid by the hour. So you want to get all those hours in. Go down the street. They have music. They have barbecue. Everybody's happy. Everybody's eating lunch. It's a thing. So I'm over there. This is my first time experience this thing. I get a tap on the shoulder. I'm like, hey, come with us. We got to go back. I'm like, yo, I'm eating this barbecue. Like, I'm trying to, no, just come with us back to the thing. So we go back to the main building where the call center is. And they're like, yo, we need you to go to these 5 desks. On those 5 desks, there's a box. Put all their stuff on their desk, in the box. That's their personal items. And put the box in their desk. Okay, cool. So now the party's over. Everybody comes back in. And they say, hey, before you guys go in, those of you with boxes on your desk, go ahead and grab your box, meet up at security. And, that's it. You're good to go. So those people got fired while they were at the barbecue place. And then they come back and they got a box on their desk and then security walks him out,
Yeah.
out the door.
No, it's very
clears
traumatic
him
to get
out,
fired.
right? That to me would be a very traumatic experience, right?
So it's very traumatic to get fired in that fashion where you're walked out in front of everybody. I remember my first job out of college. Um, it was a huge call center, but it was an online university. But it was literally just one big room full of different teams. Just long tables down this huge building. And yeah, when people would get fired, HR would show up in the building, and you would just know it. And they would bring them a box. And I just always thought that was so inhumane because they're like, yeah, they'd go and talk to them in a room, and then the person comes back like sad, and they're packing their box in front of everybody in this huge, huge room, So with that, I want to make sure that I hit all of these symptoms because I didn't. So you may have irritability, hostility, hypervigilance, self-destructive behavior, social isolation. What's happening? Yeah.
I was thinking self-destructive, and again, this is a serious topic, but this is you guys know me. Self-destructive behavior, right?
Yes.
I would have tore the place up if a box would have been on my desk. I would have wrecked shop. I mean, we had video games in the break rooms, like those things.
I know.
Man, I would have broke out. Might have set that thing on fire.
And unfortunately, it's funny to talk about, but we have seen people come back after they're terminated or, whatever situation has happened and unfortunately retaliate on people. And some of those people, didn't even have any dealings with them. So it's just very unfortunate. And if you're feeling these symptoms, reach out and get a therapist or, just anybody that can help you. Because once again, although we're going to joke about it and we're going to tell our stories, this can really start to decline how you live your life. It sticks with you because I have a story too, but you can have flashbacks, you'll have fear, severe anxiety, you'll mistrust people, places, and things, loss of interest or pleasure in activities, you can feel guilty, lonely, you have nightmares, insomnia, you experience emotional detachment or unwanted thoughts. So when I think about post-traumatic stress syndrome, this embodies so many other mental disorders that we talk about, and it can literally take over your life where you're just constantly ruminating over it. So with Damien's example, not only is the person grieving that they lost their job, and if it's a person who didn't realize that whatever they were doing was that bad or that they were like close to getting fired, then they're grieving that. And then on top of that, like Damien mentioned, the trauma of the embarrassment and the humiliation of how it was done.
Can you imagine? Like this was the early stages of Facebook, really social media. But can you imagine now somebody on live talking about somebody else? Oh, look at this dude! Look at him get walked out. I told him he was getting walked out. Right? It'd be horrible. Now, not only does that person is embarrassed for getting fired the way that they fire people, not for anything other than not hitting numbers, right? But they're also, they're being drug across the coals on social, right? Because now people take their cameras out anytime they show. I was watching a fight the other day on like a fight video. Somebody was fighting somebody else. Six people had I counted 6 people had their cameras out and nobody was helping. Right?
Was that oh no, that wasn't the one in the airport.
Just scrolling through the thing. It was just 10 of them in a row. Just people. Listen, Facebook, you need to change my algorithm. I need to switch it up because right now my algorithm is a little messed up. But I'm just saying, like, people are now, not only is that incident isolated to that one experience, now they're reliving the thing over and over again.
Which is another thing, if you do have PTSD or even if you don't, if you weren't at the event, Damien brings up a really good point that now that we have social media, you can experience vicarious trauma by watching the video, rewatching the video, So now with social media, we're privy to all of these episodes of police brutality, or like Damien talked about, just people, beating each other up. I watched one yesterday where a woman and her daughter started beating up the airport. What was it? Spirit, I think. I don't know. They were beating up the airport people.
Hold on a second. I mean, you're talking about Spirit Airlines, okay? That's no hold barred WWE fest
Well,
over
yeah,
there.
and
I talk about. I just had one experience with Spirit, and it was a completely horrible experience. I was going to Vegas. People were fighting on the plane.
what?
Yeah,
You
like
saw people fighting on the plane?
snatch a girl
Stop
over the
it.
row. They were fighting, and I never flew Spirit Airlines ever again. American, shout out your boy. Hook me up. I need to up level my status again in February. I
American,
fly
come on.
exclusively American now. So you want to be a sponsor of the show? Go ahead, go sponsor. But
American,
I'm not flying Spirit.
American, we love a brand deal. We love a brand deal. I think it was American. I'll have to double check, but some of your planes have those nice, they're not sprinklers, but they're like the mist,
Yeah,
not misters,
yeah.
but just air conditioning.
Yeah.
Just is that
Blasting.
American?
So it used
Where
to
it's
be
just hitting
during
you?
it used to be during COVID, but they stopped
Oh.
doing it after they making their money again. so
Wow.
they-
Well, I
they
got
gotta
on one of
spread
those
that out.
planes, American, and I
Yeah.
think you should keep it because that was bomb. And once again, we would love a branding deal.
would
We
love
are
it.
here for it. But back to what we're talking about. So yes, the vicarious trauma of watching these traumatic situations being videotaped, and then the trauma of actually being in one of those situations. And I want to correct myself because Spirit Airlines crew, you guys were holding your own as well.
I mean,
I said
listen.
beat up, but you guys were. It was a WWE situation
Yeah.
where both parties were getting at it. But even with that. My earring just fell off.
Oh my
Lord
goodness.
Jesus.
Listen.
I'm going to be on the replays
Listen.
like that poor woman when her wig fell off. I know y'all saw that. That was, shout out to her. You know what? She handled that so well. She said, Lord Jesus. She said, she said, Lord Jesus. I really enjoyed what she was saying though. But they just went by earring.
Listen, while Ashley fixes her earring, we do have a actual sponsor to the show. Go High Level. We got a new promo for you guys. Check this promo out. It's actually going to help you if you send any type of email in your business. This will help you get into the inbox and get more emails delivered and get more emails read. Check this out. What is up, people? Mr. High Level here, and in this quick video, I wanted to show you the 6 types of emails that generate more sales. Now, there may be more than these 6, but in my experience with sending somewhere between 80 and 100 million emails per month, these are the top 6 that continue to win. I'll be covering them in detail in upcoming videos, so like, subscribe, and follow, all the things. Number 6, objection email. If you know the reason why someone might not respond to your offer and a rebuttal as to why they should, you should have yourself a start to an awesome email, the objection email. Think of all the things that would keep your reader from taking action, like buying, signing up, or whatever it is you want them to do. Those are called objections. And think about how you can overcome them. Very simple. Make a list of all the objections that people would have and come up with solutions for them. Then you can take all of those objections and write an email for your sales sequence, or even come up with a few emails from that list. Number 5, educational emails. People always appreciate learning something new. With educational emails, think about what people would find useful and relevant. Create emails that educate your subscribers on topics related to your offer, product, or service. Include a clear call to action at the end that outlines an opportunity that they can take advantage of. Letting them know what's in it for them will help drive more conversions. This is one of the most successful tactics I've used in email sales sequences, as people are receptive to learning new things. Number 4, credibility emails. Credibility emails are all about showing that something or someone is real. You want your reader to trust you and buy from you. When crafting your emails, you want to show what you have done and any nice things other people said about you and what you're offering. We call those testimonials. Include them in the email. This can help make subscribers believe you and be more likely to act on your offer. It's also helpful to add some extra info they may find useful, like content they can learn from. Talked about that, education emails. Then, when they get to the end, they will know exactly what you want them to do. Number 3, scarcity emails. These kind of emails work so well. If you're promoting something that is only available for a limited time, there's only so many available, or It's at a special price for a certain amount of time. All are scarcity points you can write emails around. These kind of emails make people take action right now. And if you can include one of those in your email or your sales sequence, you should in every one that you create. Number 2, benefit emails. Benefit emails are emails that you write about the benefit people will get from clicking on the link in your email. I use these the most because they are so powerful and usually are the easiest emails to create. With this type of email, I recommend finding one benefit of what you're promoting and write an email directly about that one thing. You can have several of these benefit emails in the email sales sequence. Number 1, freebie emails. If you have something to give your readers for free that's related to what you're offering, it's worth including it in your email. Freebies build trust no matter if the reader buys or not. Think of something extra to give out and make an email or two so people know about it. Freebie emails aren't just for getting people to buy, there are lots of other benefits too. Speaking of freebies, I have a freebie just for you. I created a series of emails for each and every one of these types of emails that you can craft to fit your product and service, and loaded them up in my favorite software to write and distribute these emails automatically. Go to MrHighLevel.com and sign up for a free 30-day trial, and I'll send you all of these emails so you can easily import them into your account with the click of a few buttons. Load them up, quickly add your product or service, hit send, and watch the sales come in. It's that easy. Now look, stay tuned for more videos coming about all these types in detail. Again, go to MrHighLevel.com, sign up for your free extended 30-day free trial. I'm giving you these emails for free. Load them up, get the sales, make it happen. I'm out. All right, and we're back, folks. Welcome back.
Welcome
Ashley, how you
back.
doing? You good?
I'm
You
doing
good?
good.
All right.
So,
She
real
might
quick
have a little
before we get
PTSD about dropping her earring off on
Shut
camera.
up.
You know what I mean? That
it's
might
back.
happen.
It's back. It's beautiful. It's here. You don't need to have PTSD about that. We could do some EMDR. No, I'm just joking. I can't EMDR you because your family ethics says we cannot do therapy on family. JK. But seriously, though, PTSD can follow you throughout your life. It can stop you from achieving your goals. It can wreak havoc. It can become another person in the middle of your marriage or your friendship. So once again, get help for it. I know when I was a clinical director at a rehab, we had some very traumatic events go on there. One instance was one of these clients got upset at me, and they literally raised the chair like they was coming after me. And it, about to tear me up with the chair. So you know how to get in fighter stance, Damien.
Yeah,
and I
I
was
do.
ready to go. And then luckily, another one of the directors came by, stepped in the middle of us, and was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. He looked at him. He said, man, you really trying to throw a chair at a woman? And that was a whole thing. But honestly, for me, the most traumatic part about it, because I understood where I was and I understood the risk, right? But for me, the most traumatic part about it, and Damien kind of touched on it when it comes to your coworkers, was that as clinical directors, we all had to sit down and vote if a client who did something like that could stay or go. And our policy was obviously that would be a no-brainer. They would go, right? However, he pled his case. His mom called one of the other directors, and she wanted to keep him there. And so for me, that was my root of PTSD, because I felt like it was a major betrayal, and I also felt like it had to do something with race, because I felt like if that would have been someone who was my shade, it would have been an automatic out, which had happened in the past. So you have to be careful to take care of your PTSD, because if I hadn't gone to a therapist and dealt with that, I would have brought that scenario into other workspaces and places.
Exactly. So you're saying, as a therapist, you also seek therapy.
Oh, listen. People have this connotation that because we're therapists, we also don't need people to talk to and get an unbiased perspective or process through our trauma. But I am human just like you, and I need to take care of my mind, body, and spirit just like you do. So honestly, in my opinion, if your therapist hasn't had a therapist and they have been in the field as long as I have, they are not well. There is no way, being a therapist, even in these past 3 years, that you haven't experienced some type of vicarious trauma or trauma in your lifetime, whether it was just seeing all the chaos that was going on during the pandemic, and haven't sought help for yourself.
So you got to get the help, people. And one of the best places in the Valley to get help and therapy is Favor and Grace Under Fire.
Yes.
If you go to favorgraceunder.com right now,
Boom.
go ahead and fill out the form. Just get a session. It doesn't have to be, I think people think when they sign up for therapy, they got to go in and do like 100 sessions and it's going to be this long thing. But literally you can get in and out one session, get what you need, and make it happen. Obviously, that might open up some other stuff. But at least get in and talk to somebody, especially if you're struggling with, all jokes aside, PTSD. It's debilitating, and you can't move the way you like to move in your life every day. Go to favoritegraceunderfire.com, sign up, send me your info, get on the phone, schedule an appointment, and make it happen. What do you say, Ashley?
I do say that. And just to clarify, if you're dealing with trauma, it's probably going to be more than one session. However, I always tell people that I'm like the Black Mary Poppins. I'm here when you need me and gone when you don't. So I am not a long-term therapist. I'm not trying to keep you for years and years and years. You will not be there for years and years and years.
Yeah, I mean, you don't, again, you probably, a lot of stuff's going to come up in those second, third, fourth, fifth sessions, but you can't get to the second, third, fourth, fifth session unless you get to the first one.
The first step.
So go to favoritegraceunderfire.com, sign up, get in there, make it happen. Speaking of therapy, Ashley, I've been watching this show on Apple TV called Shrinking. Mm-hmm. It's with Harrison Ford, owns a therapist practice.
Okay.
With Jason Sudeikis. No, not Jason Sudeikis. What was Jason Segel?
Okay.
Is also playing in there. It is hilarious. Let me tell you, it is so funny. Harrison Ford is amazing in this. I was also watching him on this and 1920, whatever it is, Yellowstone thing.
1922.
Yeah.
Is it 1922?
1923. But this
1922 is my sorority's founding year. My bad. Shout out to the SG Rose. No, don't you dare.
Oh wait,
leave it alone.
I was going with it.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone. I don't know why he always try to do that. Disrespectful to my founders. Turn it in their grave. Stop it. Anyways, he loves the show. Listen, we as therapists are funny people. We have to have a sense of humor in order to be this job. Y'all meet me on the daily. I be cracking jokes.
Jokes, folks.
But listen, you got to catch me and Mr. High Level. Mm-hmm. He be doing his thing on these conferences. Catch me, Ashley, in Favor. I just got done with the talk at Midwestern University with the pharmacological. I said that wrong. They keep trying to get me to say it right. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The pharmacy students and the dental students. What's up? Talking about African American history and post-slave syndrome. So go to our websites, hit us up. Favor and Grace Under Fire is also looking for culturally competent therapists. We have a lot of people on our waiting list, and we're also taking interns. So go ahead and hit me up on that website, favorandgraceunderfire.com, if you are interested.
Yes, folks. So what else we got, Ashley? I think we're coming up to the time. I keep saying we're going to stretch this thing out. People call me on it every week or so. They're like, yo, you say you're going to make it longer. Yeah, I'm getting to it. Don't worry about it. We just want to make sure you give you guys an amazing show. Make sure you get the things that you need. Make sure you get tools and techniques to help you get through the things that you need to get through. So that's what we're here for. So I actually had a call real quick, and we'll hop out of here with a person in one of the masterminds that I'm in. I really want to get back into the educational piece of the things that I used to do, teaching people how to build their businesses. So Mr. High Level is going to start hosting workshops again for you to come and learn to grow your business, folks. That's going to happen.
And that's nice. Mm-hmm. That is very nice. And he's going to hire Ashley in Favor because she just did a conference, the whole CEO conference about how to grow a CEO and heal your trauma first. Because that trauma is going to find you in your entrepreneurship business. This is not easy.
Day. The first day.
It is not easy. So he's also going to hire me and put me on some of these workshops. Ashley in Favor over here.
You know what? Here's what we're not going to do. We're not going to hire Ashley. We're going to have Favor, Grace on Fire sponsor some of these events. Maybe a lunch so you guys can come have a nice lunch on Favor and Grace Under Fire.
No.
Let her sponsor these things.
Mr. High Level is going to sponsor these things. And Favor and Grace will come with our therapist and we'll give you some free, tips on what we be talking about on the podcast.
You got it. All right, folks, that's it for this week. Listen, make it a good one. Make sure you guys, take care of each other, take care of yourself, and be better together. We're out. The podcast is for educational entertainment purposes only. The content discussed is not a replacement for therapy or a formal therapy session or group. This is not therapy and or therapy group, and all content is generally based and not specific to any issue, problem, or person due to lack of a personalized information and absence of a signed agreement from all parties stating that this is a therapy session or group. Let's get it.